I'm coming, I'm coming. Well, for this session, we've got 48 hours ahead of us at a stunning lake in Oxfordshire. This is a syndicate that I'm lucky enough to fish, which is around about 30 acres in size. There's not loads and loads of fish in here. There's about sort of 160 odd fish, but we've had a few escapees this year from the floodings that went on in Oxford. Some of the stock pond fish were just like, go, 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 and a few of them have ended up in here. So there is a few of the smaller ones about. We're the only people here, which is good. It's always quiet here as well, to be honest, so which is a nice thing. I've got my mum's dog with me, who's the biggest idiot in the world, and he's sort of paddling around in the edge at the moment. But, so yeah, you'll have to make do of him. I'm just making sure that he doesn't drown or something, because he's that dumb. So this morning we got here, and as you always do, first thing, have a little bit of a walk around. So we've had a walk round, and I've put in some bait in the likely looking edges. Now, one of the spots already has been cleared off, so that's looking good for a daytime or for a stalking opportunity a bit later on. What we're probably going to end up doing is setting up base camp in one of the swims. I've been searching all this morning looking for fizzers, and we've seen a fair few fizzers in a swim that's called the Lawns. There's a few fish cruising about on the surface. It's quite warm at the moment. It's going to be warm for the next few days, so I think we're going to end up seeing a lot of fish up on the surface. But I think the game plan's going to be get in the Lawns, set up base camp there. I've already got a spot eyed up, seeing fish just fizzing out on a spot. I've marked it up with a horizon marker, roughly the sort of distance, and I'm going to find a spot in that area where they were feeding this morning and put a load of parkles out there. So that will be the game plan so far. It's looking good for it. It's looking good for a bit of everything at the moment. Like I say, with it being warm, may get a few surface opportunities as well. But the main thing is there's fish about. They're feeding in the edge, they're cruising about everywhere. It's definitely looking good for a bite. Well, before I start bombarding the swim, finding that spot where they were fizzing this morning, so we're in the lawn swim now. There's too many fish on the surface out there for me not to have a go at them. So I'm just setting up a surface rod at the minute, because there's definitely an opportunity here to be had. You know, it just seemed madness for me to start leading about and putting a load of bait out whilst there's fish milling around on the surface like there is at the moment. I mean, I'm staring at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 fish cruising around on the surface out here, and they look well up for a mixer. So yeah, that's going to be the state of play at first. Let's get one off the top, I reckon, first off. Get a fish under our belt. Then find that spot, put a bit of bait on it, and then we've got our stalking spots to check. So just rigging this up ready, and then hopefully next time you see me, I'll be bent into a carp. That'll be nice. Bent into a carp. That's a new one. A frustrating day at surface fishing, as always. Unbelievable. I've had a couple of opportunities where I've come up for the hook bait. I've tried shortening it, lengthening it, and just being too crafty. And I could spend all day here trying to hook one off the surface, but I need to stick to the plan. I need to get some bait in at the very least. Tommy, the owner's keeping an eye on the stalking spots for us, and they've all been cleaned out. So whilst I've been tarting around in the swim here, fish have been feeding on our stalking spots. So stick to the plan, Lee. I'm going to bin off the surface fishing, find a spot, put a load of bait on it, let's go do a bit of stalking. I've still got the surface rod out just down into the right here, but the chance of it going are very slim because of how cute they're being on the surface. So it's just one of them things, unfortunately. So yeah, gonna find this spot out in the lake where they were fishing this morning, put a bit of bait on it, and go and do a bit of stalking. Well, I've been chasing my tail a little bit today, to be honest. Unfortunately, them stalking spots, it's not been a good day really on the fishing front. It's a nice day now, 'cause I've got beer in my hand of course, but on the fishing front, we went down to the stalking spots and their roach are just decimating them all. There's loads and loads of roach about everywhere and not really many carp anymore. They're sort of them two bays that are down that bottom corner, the stalking spots that we baited, they were full up with carp this morning and now they're sort of pushing out to where we're set up. So, you know, it's probably a good thing on the front that I put a load of bait out there, of course, but on the stalking front, I missed the train a little bit. Tommy had messaged me, said that there's a decent common on one of the spots and I should have went round straight away then, but I didn't because I was tarting around trying to surface fish. So we're back in the swim now. We've been pacing up and down there for ages trying to get a carp to feed, but that's not happened. The roach are just ravenous down there, so we just leave them to it. Like I say, missed the train a little bit there with that one, unfortunately. So we're back in the swim now. So put 2 buckets of bait out onto that spot out there. I'm going to fish 3 rods out there, and that bait consisted of the bulk of it was the monster garlic mix. I've got some bug boilies in there, some 8mm that are put in, a few pellets in there, so a little bit of everything going on, to be honest. It smells absolutely gorgeous, especially that garlic particle is divine, absolutely divine. So yeah, if you've not ever had that before, that is a must. Put 2 buckets of that out there before we went off looking at the stalking spots. There's plenty of bait out in the spot. Like I say, the fish have drifted out now from them bays and they're sat out in front of the swim at the minute, so it's looking really, really good. I'm not going to rush around quickly trying to get the rods out and all that, because I think I want to build up a bit of a hit for tomorrow morning. That's the general idea. What I'll probably do, because there's a lot of fish that are milling around on the surface out here, is have another go on the surface, I think. But I'm going to get some rods ready to chuck out there tonight. The spot that I've found is at 22 wraps, so I'm going to fish all 3 rods on that. Yeah, that spot, like I say, is a bit of a gravel strip. It's a rod length long, and then you've got a bit of weed this side of it. So I'm fishing over the weed, one in one silt, one in the other silt, and then onto the gravel in the middle. So yeah, I'm going to get them hook baits and the rigs all prepared for all of that. I'm probably going to end up fishing 2 Ronnies either side into the silt, and then just fish a D-linked stiff rig with a couple of tigers on it, which will be fished hard on the bottom. So yeah, just going to keep my eyes peeled for it, or if the spot starts fizzing up, then I'll probably want to get some rods on there for this evening, because it could be this evening bite on the cards. But I'm thinking it's going to be more tomorrow morning. When we turned up here this morning, they were fizzing out on that spot like mad. So I think that's when we're going to get our bites, is in the morning. So yeah, that's the state of play at the minute. Dog's red hot, he's lying down, he's had enough of everything. He keeps thinking he's going home. I don't tend to take him fishing much, and he keeps walking towards the van thinking he's going home any minute. He's now huddled in the shade, hence why I've put this up, just to try and get a bit of shade in the swim. So right, let's get some rods set up, get them ready, and sip a few beers and see the evening in. That's the 3 rods out ready for this evening, and there's been plenty of activity over the spot, to be fair. I've got 2 bang on the spot, 1 on the gravel, 1 on the silt. The other one to the right, I fished just slightly off of it. It still smacks down nice and hard, but it's not sort of pressuring the spot with all 3 rods. I've got one just slightly off, because now and then you always tend to get that big one that holds back from the pack out there. But there's, as I look out at the spot at the moment, one's just shown. There's loads of activity going on where I put that bait out there. We're getting fizzers, shows. It's all happening at the minute as another one just pips the surface. So yeah, the spot is looking absolutely perfect at the minute. All we got to do is hope that one of these 3 rods sing throughout the night, which I think just may happen. Well, good morning, and as far as nights go, that was a very, very quiet night. It's actually 3:45, I'm gonna check the phone, 3:45, and yeah, right-hand rod's busted off. The one that I said that was just slightly off of the spot, that normally sort of does them bigger ones when they hold back. And yeah, lo and behold, it's done us a big one. £30, 2 ounces. So very, very nice. So what we're gonna do is, because it's so early in the morning anyway, it's gonna be light in about half an hour's time. So we will put him in the sling, have a cup of tea, and get him out when that sun decides to shine his head. And yeah, that was unexpected, very unexpected for the fish to be that big. I honestly thought it was sort of swimming around in the edge. And I said to Finn, oh, you know, have you got your shot, as he's swimming around and round. And yeah, I thought, oh, he's mid-double. And then got him on the mat, thought, oh, he might go 20 pound. Then got him on the scales and he was 30 pounds. So yeah, I've obviously not long got back from a rainbow trip. So my judgment of fish is slightly out. But wicked all the same. Right, let's have a cup of tea and then we'll go and have a look at him. Wicked. Wow! There he is. £30, 2 ounces of absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous common carp. Ah, buzzing with him. Definitely didn't expect a £30 this trip, that's for sure, because there's not many in here. This could well be the only £30 in here at the moment. They've had a really good spawn this year, so yeah, they drop quite a bit of weight. So to catch a £30 from this gorgeous lake is yeah, I'm over the moon with that. Absolutely wicked. Right, well, let's hope there's a few more to come today. Easy, easy. And yeah, to see any more as close to this weight today would be absolutely awesome. But wow, that's not a bad start. That's a bite, that's a bite. Damn. I'm coming, I'm coming. Oh, love it. Oh, he's come off. No. No. No one likes to see that. Oh, savage. Damn, 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 damn. Same rod as well that I'd had him from. Unfortunately, we're obviously sorting him out and the rod's busted off. Ah, gutted, 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 but one of them things, I suppose. I didn't want to go rushing him. So, damn, 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 damn. But seems like just fishing slightly off of the spot seems to be the one. Damn. Oh well. Well then, just putting a bit of breakfast on at the minute. Bacon, brie, wraps. Big edge, putting brie in your bacon wraps, definitely. Love it. I know loads of you now are like, oh, that's disgusting. Trust me, it's the one. So, yeah, a little bit quiet in the swim at the moment, staring out at the spot. There's not really many fizzes and that going on, which I was really hoping for, to be honest, considering how much bait I'd put out. I'd actually put 3 buckets out in the end, so yeah, proper give it to him yesterday. Which obviously worked, because we have had a couple of bites. But I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest. And yeah, at the moment, it's too quiet for my liking. So we'll have this breakfast, we'll reassess the situation sort of thing after a bit of food and a few cups of tea. But yeah, it's going to be another scorcher today, definitely. It's boiling hot already. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning and it is red as. So Pooch has had enough. He's already looking dead on the floor at the minute. He's not dead though, don't worry, he's alive. So yes, I'm just cremating Finn's bacon here because that's how he likes it. And yeah, like I say, we'll eat hearty in the morning, and fingers crossed there'll be a few fish for the rest of the day. I've got the gist of the story. Ah, well, the right hand rod is showing us all the love this trip, definitely. This is the third bite now on this one. Unfortunately, we obviously had that one that fell off earlier, which is a shame, but straight back out there. I say it's about 2, maybe 3 foot off of the spot. You know, it's not a million miles away from it, but that seems to be the one that's doing the bite. So we're fizzing over the left hand rod. No more than 10 minutes ago, they were having a right up fizz up over the left hander, and we thought that was going to be the one to go next, but nope, right hand rod's gone, fizzled away, which is nice. He's sort of kiting left and right of the swim, right over the top of the other 2 rods in a minute, which isn't ideal, but yeah, great buzz all the same. Let's hope we can get this one in. This will be cool. It'd be nice if he's a mirror as well, because the mirrors are gorgeous in here and they're really, really lovely. Yeah, it'd be wicked to get this one in. Oh, well done, Lee. You absolute like possibly the worst throw in the world. How to break rods with Lee Mozza Morris. They have big old chops on him. Come on in, darling. Come on in. Oh, yes, that will do. Nice. Oh, wow, this is an epic, epic carp. Typical mirror of what this lake holds, you know, just off the chain creature. Not the biggest in the world, but look at him. What he lacks in size, he makes up for in looks. He's got the biggest mouth ever as well. Huge old chops on him. Epic fight in the crystal clear water. He's trying to do me underneath that bush. And yeah, same rod again, that one slightly off of the spot. So I think what we'll end up doing is sort of a couple more hours in the swim, go and bait them stalking spots, have a little go on the surface if we can. And I think when we come back this evening, I might fish 2 rods just slightly off of the spot and 1 dead centre of it. Oh, God, this thing is incredible. Right, some new carp care stuff for you all to get yourselves, because this stuff is brilliant. So I've got a normal pot of propolis here, which you can get from most places. All right. And really good for hook holds, any sort of wounds. But the problem is with propolis is it tends to slide off once you seal it on. Well, this stuff here, it's powdered, it absorbs moisture basically. It's a powder that absorbs moisture. As soon as you put the propolis on, so put that onto your hook hold first, like so. Put that on, and then don't seal it off. You just want to rub it into the wound, and then use this powder, pop that powder on, like so, and then seal it off with a little bit of water. Put the water onto that wound, and what that does is it forms a crust around the hook hold or wound that's there, and it keeps the propolis on. So yeah, well worth getting yourselves a little bottle of this powder. Right, well, we've decided to get the rods in the swim and come up to the end where we were yesterday, where we were putting a little bit of bait in, because Tommy, the owner, said that there's a few fish about. So we're going to have a look at a few of the spots down there, and fingers crossed we can get one from the edge. Especially after yesterday not being so great, today would hopefully be making up for it. So let's go and have a look at the spots. Fingers crossed we can get one on the bank. Well, it's been a frustrating couple of hours just getting turned over down there, and I'm not quite sure why, to be honest. The fish are sat right over the rig, and maybe the hook pattern's not right, but the thing is I can't, normally in this sort of situation I would perhaps use a more supple hook link, but you can't because of the roach that are down there. If you were to use a supple hook link, they'd just tangle it up straight away. So I've got quite a stiff boom on down there, 30-pound Illusion, just to try and keep everything anti-tangle really. And I think it's the only reason why I can think that I've not had a fish yet, because they have been all over us. So need to reassess the situation and perhaps use a different hook pattern. Maybe that might be the difference, but we're all starving. Finn's been up that tree, I don't know how many hours, how he stayed up there for as long as he has, I'll never know. But yeah, frustrating few hours stalking. It's been wicked seeing them so close into the edge as well and feeding fairly hard. But it's one of them things. It's a bit like surface fishing, you know, you can have them all over you and sometimes they just won't pick the hook bait up. So I think we're going to go back now, put a load of bait in, ready for this evening, and get some food on the go. I think we're all starving. So let's get this rod in, get back round to the swim. Right, so just putting bait out for the second night then, and not really spoken too much about the bait because we wanted it to work first, obviously, whilst the dog is roaming around in the bushes like an idiot. So yeah, the bait that caught me, that 30-pounder this morning, and obviously that lovely scaly one, consists of the garlic mix, so the monster garlic. It's got hemp in there as well. Along with that, I've put 12mm boilies and 15mm boilies and a few of our Maxi Mix pellets that we do at DNA. So there's quite a mix going on there, but it's obviously worked, hence why we've not spoken about the bait beforehand. Now that is the bait that I have been baiting up with on the stalking spots as well. So whilst we've been sort of roaming around all day in them stalking areas, it's the exact same mix there as well. Again, I'm going to put 3 buckets of bait out tonight. These fish like a bit of food. I don't think it's something that a lot of the anglers do on this pond. They tend to sort of fish bags. You know, when I've seen other people fish this lake, they tend to just fish for a bite at a time. I like to give it to them because I think 9 times out of 10, not only can you catch them rarer ones like that big one that we caught this morning, but it tends to build the swim up over time, and that's what I'm doing now. So we're going into the second night. I'm going to put 3 buckets back out there, and I'm sure it's definitely going to work for us. So the light's fading now. We're still hungry after today's antics, obviously stalking and what have you, but I need to get the rest of this bucket out. I've already put 2 buckets out. Going to get the rest of this one out and then fuzz the rods out there onto the spot. Going to fish it similar to the same way as yesterday, but with the left hand rod I'm going to fish it slightly off of the baited patch because that's what I did on the right hand rod, and that's what got us that big one. So that's the aim of the game at the moment. Get the rest of this bucket out and fingers crossed we'll catch ourselves a few more. Well, good morning. Bit of a quiet night last night, unfortunately. Although about 4 o'clock this morning, a little bit of a drop back on this rod that's in my hand at the moment. And we've just found out what the culprit was. A roach that had been on there probably from that 4 or half 4 in the morning bite. Wasn't really a bite, it was just a couple of bleeps back. Tightened up to it, and then the bobbin just stayed there. So I thought, well, rather than sort of chuck in the darkness, I'll leave it as it is. And then as the sun's come up, it's dropped back a little bit more. So I thought, right, well, with that, and yeah, it was the biggest roach I think I've ever bloody seen, to be honest. This huge roach, and yeah, I think he'd been on there a little while, bless him. No doubt something's tried to chase him, and that's what's given us the registration on the alarm. So yeah, I'm going to get this rod fuzzed back out there. This was the rod that did us the bites yesterday as well. That one on the right hand side just off of the spot. but not really seeing a lot. It's very quiet out there at the moment. No fizzing sort of going on, no shows as of yet. But the morning's still early yet, you know, it's still 7 o'clock in the morning at the moment. And we didn't get them bites until about 10 o'clock yesterday, after we'd had that big and obviously early hours. So, you know, bite time's up until sort of 10, 11 o'clock this morning. So I'm still hopeful that something might happen. We'll get this rod fuzzed back out there onto the spot. And fingers crossed, next time you see me, there'll be a big one in my hands. Right, well, the right hand rod has just melted off. Unfortunately, we did have another roach on it, but yeah, fuzzed it back out there on the spot. And we were just starting to sort of wrap up a bit of our kit, because I've got to have another go down the edge in front of them reeds again, especially after yesterday and not actually hooking one. It's caning me, so I'm going to try a different rig on there and or a different hook pattern to see what happens. But yeah, in the meantime, we've got one on at the moment, and yeah, it'd be lovely to get this one in, definitely, especially after having them cut the roach this morning. I was a bit like, no, you know, have they cleared us out? But obviously not with this one on the end. Right, I'm gonna have to get in the water because he's kiting hard left now. I want to keep him away from these bushes. Come on, you gorgeous carp. Yay, lovely jubbly, nice. Ah, wicked. I'm buzzing to get another one off the spot. That is ideal. These creatures in here are lively, but goddamn gorgeous. Look at that thing. Ah, what a magnificent carp. And another one off the spot with a load of that particle out there. Life don't get much better, does it? That is one gorgeous, gorgeous creature. Oh, amazing. So I think what we're going to do now, I've quickly fuzzed the rod back out there onto the spot because you never know. But I think we'll get packed up in this swim, head on down to them reeds, and hopefully get one out the edge because, yeah, it's been caning me that I haven't managed to do that yet. So let's get him back. Let's get down to them reeds. Let's catch one there, and then we'll make our way home. In the meantime, look at that thing. What a carp. Yes! Mwah! God. Right, well, no more bites, unfortunately, in the swim. So this is the last rod in now. And then we're going to go up to the reeds, like I said earlier on. Go and put a bit of particle in for the last hour or two. And hopefully go and get one out the edge. Right, so back in the stalking spot, back in the reed swim, where we're just fishing just the other side of these reeds here. Gin clear down here, so you can see absolutely everything that's going on. Now, yesterday we obviously got turned over a few times, and they picked the rig up, kept spitting it out, and I think it was down to the hook pattern of the actual hook pattern that I was using. So I've got the same material again, but this time with a curved hook on there instead. I think that's what's going to nail them. Oh, there's a big common on the spot right now. As I've just looked over my shoulder, there's a big common just sat down there at the minute. So desperate to get this rod in place and hopefully hook one on this new hook. Oh, please God, shine on me. Told you. First go. I got that right with the hook pattern and all that. You know, I kept the exact same rig, but just had to change the hook pattern slightly to that curved medium. First fish, straight near it, bang, job done. Should have done this yesterday, really. I'm a bit gutted that I never. But we've got one on, which is wicked. There's so many roach down on the spot as well, so that's why really you have to sort of fish a stiff link down there, because of them sort of trying to tangle the rig by pecking at the hook bait. But yeah, we've got one on. Let's get him in. Let's get this job done. Here he comes. Hooked perfectly. Yes! Ah, wicked. No better buzz than hooking him in the edge. He is awesome. Wicked creature. Nice! Wow, look at that angry mofo. He is proper cool. Ah, no better buzz, like I said, catching them in the edge like that. Absolutely awesome. He dropped down straight away. Hook was in his mouth. Off he shot across the bay. Wicked fight in the edge with him. Don't get much better than that, does it? Absolutely awesome. So that is that then. Hopefully you've enjoyed this session and you know, taking a little bit away from it. Obviously putting in plenty of particles this time of year is a must in my eyes, and yeah, you know, we've got results from it. We caught the lake's big un, biggest common in here, that one was, that 30 pounder. We've had this one, couple of scalies, absolutely awesome. Right, let's get him back and we'll see you next time. Woohoo!